Hello everybody and welcome back. For the most part, I'm back in one piece after my bike crash not that long ago. So over the past week, I've actually done a lot more than I would have expected otherwise. Without boring you, we're gonna go straight into this one. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. First on this video's agenda is the Aarhus Museum. There are many levels to the museum, so we started at the bottom and worked our way up. The first room we went into was super cool with lots of different things going on. I had a few favourite pieces at the museum and this was one of them. I must admit I never really understand the meaning behind different artworks, but this one intrigued me with the piano playing without somebody actually playing it. It also sounded very pretty and I can confirm that the notes being played on the screen match up with the ones that you can hear. We then kept moving through what seemed like a post-apocalyptic dystopian section and eventually found another favourite of mine, the rain room. Next, we found ourselves at the top where the main attraction is. This rainbow walk can be seen across most parts of the city and your perception of the landscape totally changes depending on which colour you're looking through. One of the signature exhibitions at the moment is by Run Mueck. I found this one a bit odd, with larger than life human figures, which made me a little bit uncomfortable. The week we attended the museum was known as K7 Week in Aarhus. During the week, all students were able to visit any museum in Aarhus for free. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make the most of it as it was the week of my bike crash and I spent a lot of time either in bed or at the hospital, so the Aarhus Museum was the only one I made it to. I started feeling better and I was able to walk around a bit more. After a few days, Erin and I went for a stroll in town. We noticed the doors to the Aarhus Cathedral were open, so we decided to take a peek. It was filled with so much light and the organ pipes looked beautiful. I'd love to come back when someone is playing the organ one day. I'm certainly trying to make the most of the sunshine and nice weather while it lasts. With all my running, I started to get to know the paths around the local forest and I decided to take Sam for a walk through it one evening. We've noticed quite a few cats in the area and we were quite amused by this one cat in particular. I've been holding on for a little while to see the Deer Park and Infinity Bridge. To get there, we had to catch a bus a little bit out of town and walk through another forest and past a little waterfall. All my housemates went a few weeks ago, so I must have been busy. I was so upset when I realised the park had only very recently been closed as it was the beginning of mating season. Hopefully I can return when it opens again in December. We could still see the deer through the fence and their little tails are so majestic. Look at that little wiggle. The Infinity Bridge is just across the road from the Deer Park. While the bridge itself was a little underwhelming, it's a really nice lookout from both the beach into the water and from the water into the forest. We took our time enjoying the surroundings and the sound of the water, but as the sun started to set, it was time to go home. That night, I went to a concert at the Music House. This is kind of like the art centre in Melbourne with various halls for different events. Over the weekend, there was an event called the Aarhus Chamber Music Festival with a range of free and ticketed music performances. I was really keen on going to one called the Piano Battle. I thought it was something Dad and I would enjoy together, reminding me of the times we played chopsticks sitting side by side on the piano at home and having little jams in the living room while Dad and I improvised on the piano and saxophone respectively. I was surprised when some of my housemates were keen to join me too. I wasn't sure what I was expecting, but the performance was so cool. I think Dad and I might need to do a little more practice to get up to their level. After about half an hour of the two of them just improvising together, they then started getting some challenges. This one of them had to play backwards, and the other one could only use his knuckles. For this one of them was only allowed to use their left hand, and the other could only use their thumbs. People then started giving suggestions. I can't remember what this one was, but all I know is that they played one of Grandma's favourite songs, Moonlight Sonata. The concert finished quite late, but it was worth it. It was so foggy once we walked outside. Luckily, I didn't have to wake up early for parkrun the next morning because it starts at 9 o'clock. Sleep in! Good morning! This is such an exciting day. I've been holding out for over a week now. This is my first training session back since my accident. I've missed it so much. So I am currently walking to parkrun from home. So excited. Just an easy 5k run on the plan today. Hopefully all is good. But it looks beautiful this morning. Very foggy, but that means it's going to be a super clear day when the sun comes out, and I can already tell it's trying. It's peeking through the clouds. It was indeed a very good morning. The sun is shining. Very blue skies, which is beautiful. I'm starting to get to know the local parkrun community. They're all very nice, very kind. It's really nice to see here at parkrun there are a lot more people around my age. Back home they're usually a lot older than me, which is a bit sad. But here there's just a lot of student culture, so it's great to see people in my age bracket. I would like to clarify, having old people at parkrun is not a bad thing. I love old people, and the people at parkrun aren't actually that old. I also may or may not have gotten a group of 6 people lost. Took a wrong turn, still learning the parkrun route here, but Mum, I promise when you come here I will know the route like the back of my hand. No one quite appreciates nature like the fabulous Jerry, one of the staff members at Donwood. On these frosty mornings, the spiderwebs look so pretty with the morning dew on them. I think of you every time I see these, Jerry, so this one's for you. Those of you who know me know that cows are my absolute favourite animals. I'm obsessed. A few of my housemates and I went up to the national park, about an hour bus ride away from home. I didn't know what I was going to see, but I'm so glad I saw what I did. The day wasn't all about cows though. Apparently they're not the main attraction, or even an attraction at all. There was a very old castle on a small island off the national park which we got to see, and lots of other people came to see it as well. Recently, there have been steps installed inside the castle, so we were able to walk up it and enjoy the good views. Cows. This is Seba. Everybody say hello to Seba. The castle was cool and all, but you couldn't keep me away from the cows for too long. I just had to go back.
I just need everyone to know that this is the best day of my life. I am cuddling. I'm cuddling a cow. Oh, yes. Cuddling a cow with a view. Ellie is the view.
You can never have too much cow time, but to make sure we didn't miss the bus home, it was time to move on. Sam and Erin were very excited about the Danish Stonehenge. I didn't quite get the hype. The surroundings were pretty, but they were literally just a couple of rocks. On our travels, we walked past this cute little cottage near the shoreline. I'm not sure what it's for, but there were plenty of people walking past with camping gear. It must be a great spot to set up a tent for a night or two. It was then home time. We enjoyed soaking up the sunshine while we could as we waited for the bus. I was the only one left in the house who hadn't hit the bars yet. My time had come and I was very keen for a boogie on the 21st night of September. Benno took us to a bar. Thought it was closed. We were sad. Turns out he just pulled on a push door. I was really impressed with the nightlife here in Aarhus. I'm usually in bed by 9 PM, maybe 10 if you're lucky, but I did have to experience the city at night at least once. This was at about 2 o'clock in the morning and the streets were buzzing with plenty of cool people. My super epic triathlon coach Penny Slater was racing at the World Ironman Championships in Nice on the Sunday. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the trip down as it didn't quite work out with my uni timetable, but because we were in the same time zone, I was able to watch the entire live stream from home. Penny absolutely powered home, coming away with the title of 7th in the world and the top finishing Australian triathlete in the women's Ironman. It was then time for me to go out and do my own ride. I was feeling inspired. It wasn't quite an Ironman, but it was my first ride back since my accident. I didn't realise just how nervous I was to get back in the saddle until I got on the road, but thanks to the beautiful bike courses and a few deep breaths, I was able to feel a little more comfortable. I got to come back home to a lovely dinner made by our Spanish housemate Carmen. It felt like a family dinner, fueled by traditional Spanish cuisine. I think I've discovered that I love a good bakery. This one sold lots of authentic Danish treats. I found a few places now that do a sweet cardamom pastry as it's a traditional pastry and they're so yummy. Another reason I like to indulge in anything cardamom flavour is because it reminds me of the wonderful Kira Cooper. If you ever make it to Denmark, Kira, you must try this pastry. So I guess that's it for now. I'm actually going to Poland tomorrow for a really short cheeky trip, and then Mum is going to be coming later next week. I am so excited, so stay tuned for the next video, but in the meantime, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.